Hello, another video about work. So this time it is the important difference of a question and a demand or even a command. And this is something I experience many times in life, that people, especially workers, in terms of whatever part you are in the company and whatever level you are, we are many times not used that there's a massive difference between a command and a question. And if we talk about it this way right now, it probably seems to be completely obvious that there is a difference. But in reality, I see that many times it is being perceived as synonymously, where it's like, okay, I'm asking one of my workers, can you stay longer? And I have the feeling out of experience now that many times people hear it like as, you have to stay longer, I just being a nice person and phrase it as a question. But that should not be the case. And in our company and the companies I'm working in and I'm responsible, that is not the case. It is really a genuine question which is asking, can you stay longer? And when it's a question, and a yes or no question, it basically means also that any answer, yes or no, or whatever reply you're going to give, should be fine. Because otherwise I would use the power as your boss to say you have to stay longer. But that should be only used for extreme rare occasions, really massive hiccups. I don't know. I can barely imagine what would be a scenario that this would apply. In like maybe a burning restaurant or someone heavily injured. I don't know. But what I realize is that our society, even also in private life, many times use it in a synonymously way, where it's like, hey, can you bring out the trash? Am I really allowed to say no? And it comes to homework, comes to housekeeping, whatever you're gonna call it. Coming back to the work scenario, it's a two-sided thing. When you are in the worker position, in the, let's call it, weaker position, maybe sometimes you have to enforce your right to say yes or no. Or you just have to be more clear with your company how you're going to handle those questions in the future. In our company, it is pretty clear. It's a question. If I'm asking you, can you come tomorrow earlier, like at 12, and you can only come at 3, it's completely fine. And it's great that you make a second offer if the initial offer is not completely filling your needs and just not sneaking out with a yes-no answer. And this really also holds true for like job opportunities of switching workplaces. And I had an amazing event, or let's say not event, but an amazing situation today with one of my workers, and I asked her if she could move to another restaurant to help there. And she said, no, I don't want to. I can, but there are some reasons why I do not necessarily want to do that. And I was so happy. And I told her right away, I gave her that feedback. I took another person into the conversation. So we basically made everyone clear and understood that this is the right behavior. If it's a question, if there's an option and you are not willing or able to do so, and there are reasons for that, express those reasons, talk about it, and we're all gonna be happy. Because at this time, if I jump in, if I find a separate solution, usually I'm making two people happy now. The one person I'm helping out, and the other person who I'm saying, okay, I appreciate your honesty, and they feel more encouraged in the future to speak up again and raise their concerns. For me, as a responsible person, it also means that in the future a person will be more likely also to say yes. Because we all tend to strive for a little balance sometimes, because if you have to say no, no one likes to say no to help someone else, to help part of the company. I mean, it's not just all contract, work, money. It also involves other people you're working with who maybe help you out every once in a while when you have to change a shift or whatever it's necessary. And if you're open in both ways, from the company perspective and also as a worker, makes life so much easier for everyone. Because sometimes it's just those small things you need, like a wedding you have on a Friday and you need to have a day off, even if it's not your usual day. You have to bring your school to a test or an exam. Your husband is working with you at the same time, so you can share the ride, which you usually cannot do because you have opposite shifts. You have an opportunity to let the technician in your house. All those things. That's why make sure questions are questions. And if you have to demand something, if you have to command one of your workers, be sure that it's clearly distinguishable, that they know what to expect and what you want them to do, and if there's space for saying no or other opportunities. The last thing of the benefit of the question is that you get more insights. If people understand it as a command, they will probably not talk about it, even if they disagree. With a question, you get the insights on your company, on your workplace, and if we now go back to the private life, on how things should be handled in the future, whether it's going to be the dishes, the laundry, maybe you can make a deal where one person is doing one thing and the other person is doing the other. And if you end up at a scenario that one of the two is caring more about a topic than the other, then you have to make a call for yourself and understand that probably we are all not created equal, and some value dried dishes more than letting them stand dry on the sink. And this goes, I mean, for so many things like shirts, ironing, even to the smallest pieces. I knew people who take their towels and iron them. And on the other hand, I know people who just take everything, just fold it and put it into the cabinet. The difference between question and a command. If you ask, live with the consequences as well. If someone says no, and you don't want that, why you even ask? That's it from my side. If you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe to the channel. Leave a like if this was appealing to you, and have a look at the other videos at the end of this one. That's all from my side for the moment. I'm gonna go back home now. Have a great one.